IFAST, right? This is one of Singapore's top stocks for 2021. We have seen a huge increase from the beginning of 2021. You can see right here, we have seen it push up all the way to somewhere around October by more than 230%, right, in 2021, right, before we started to see a little bit of selling, right? So what is the outlook for IFAST in 2022, or maybe over the next few weeks? Can we actually see more weakness, more selling pressure? Hey guys, Joey here, top 10 reminder trader in Phillip Securities, and in this video we'll be diving into IFAST, right? How does it look in terms of the short term? Are we seeing some levels whereby we can potentially hit to, because certain supports have already been broken? And of course there was some news that have came out over the past few weeks as well that has kind of like affected prices negatively. Alright, so watch this video all the way to the end if you want to know what to do with IFAST, or if you're holding on to it, or you're thinking to get in. In fact, we did have like some signals coming out from my system as well, whether is it bullish or bearish. I'll show it to you guys in a bit, right? But make sure you stay all the way to the end and you'll see what it says on my system as well, and we'll dive into the charts to do a quick analysis. Before we dive into a system that I have called 1GT, One Good Trend, let's take a look at the charts right now. And this is IFAST trading at about $6.92, right? So today is the 26th of January. It's a Wednesday. The market has opened at 9:45 a.m. And yeah, we are pretty much trading at about $6.92, right? Just below that $7 mark, right? So before I talk about where we are right now, let's take a look at what has happened over the past 1 year plus. You can see that since 2021, we have seen quite a very strong increase from about $3 to $3.50, all the way up to about like $5.50 to $7. It was like consolidating for a while right here, and then eventually we broke that $7 resistance level right here, and that was where the upside kind of happened, all the way from 7 to somewhere around the $9.50 and $10 right here, all the way up here, right? So $10 was like a critical psychological resistance. I've talked about it in the previous video as well, and we were seeing some selling pressure here. You can see we kind of like touched about 1 time, 2 times, we came off. So something like what we call a double top, right? Double top, whereby we are attempting to break that level, but we couldn't really break it, and eventually you can see as it consolidates here. Okay, let me just go to draw it for you right here. You can see as we consolidates in this level from $9 to $10, it was actually looking quite okay, right? Look at this, right? It was actually looking quite okay. There were some signs of a sideways movement from 9 to 10. So you might could actually consolidate from like 9 to 10, up down, and eventually break that $10, and that's where the uptrend can actually continue further, right? But unfortunately, right, somewhere around October or beginning of November, we broke this $9 level. So that's a sign of weakness. It kind of like shows that this double top is playing out, all right? When we break the $9, you can see we started to consolidate a little bit. When it broke the $9 from like $8.50 to $9 a little bit for like about 3 weeks to a month, and eventually the $8.50 broke down as well, and we kind of like consolidated lower as well back to the $8. So there were definitely some signs of weakness, because we are kind of like breaking a certain support level, and we didn't even attempt to go back up, above that $9, right? We were like, just breaking the $9, and we're like trading below from $8.50 to $9, and eventually the $8.50 broke down as well. So there's a sign of weakness in terms of the supports breaking after each minor consolidation, right? So yeah, it was consolidating from $8, and $8 would actually be a really strong support, right? It was actually be a very strong support. You can see we were actually holding above this $8 level since like May last year, right? So yeah, I mean, we actually saw a little bit of support here, some stability in terms of some good bullish candlestick coming up here. That would be a good thing, but unfortunately you can see we were consolidating from 8 to 8.50, and same thing, we broke that $8 as well. And of course there were some downside targets that were drawn as well previously, all the way to maybe about that $7, right? $7. So $7 is like the next critical support level, right? $7, as I say, is pretty much back to where we were in February to May, right? Just last year in 2021, we were consolidating from February to May, from that $5.50 to $7. You can see this is pretty much back to here. So this $7 has now turned from like a resistance to like a support level, and it seems right now, of course it's only like 1 day, guys, it's only like 1 day, but so far right now you can see that prices is about 6.9 6.92, all right? It's about 6.92 right now. So it seems like we are attempting to break this $7 support level. All right, so you just want to be careful, because I think, for this IFAST, I mean, as I mentioned, right, this $8 was quite a good support. So with it just breaking that level, and even the $9 recently, there are definitely some signs of weakness. And in terms of the trend indicators like the moving averages, you can see that this green line is kind of like sloping down. It just crossed below this 100 days moving average line, and also the blue line, right? So in terms of the short term, we can potentially still see some weakness all the way back to maybe that $6. I think we can probably see a little bit of support around the $6. You can see this was where we were holding somewhere in April, in May. All right, $6 first, after $6, then back to maybe that $5.50. So that is pretty much the downside in the short term that we can expect, if, I say again, if we were to really break that $7 level. So for those of you who have followed this stock, one of the reasons for the sell down and somewhere around like early of January was because of it coming out and announcing that it would like to take a stake in BFC, UK's BFC Bank. All right, they did a placement at about like $7.50. About 10 million shares were placed out to raise about $75 million, all right, to kind of like fund the acquisition of UK's BFC Bank. So that was like quite a little bit of a negative news, all right, and kind of like sold off. I mean, somewhere around that placement price, we rebounded a little bit, but you can see we still below that $8, and sellers came back as well. So that is one of the news. I mean, we have some analysts downgrading IFAST as well because of this news in terms of its earnings from BFC Bank, which might impact its current earnings as well. All right, and that's where we are seeing selling as well. I mean, this is in terms of the news front or what has happened, all right, over the past 2 weeks. So it seems like we are pushing a little bit lower as we are doing this video right now. You can see it's about 687, just now we're like 692. All right, so it's coming a bit lower. All right, and there are some signs of what we call another pattern that, I mean, from what I see right now, you can see something like a head and shoulder pattern as well. This is like a head right here. Let me just go to draw it for you. You can see this is something like a head here, all right, and somewhere around here would be like a left shoulder and a right shoulder. So this is like something like a head and shoulder pattern with as I talk about the $8 as the support level, and it seems like this $8 support level, when it's broken, this head and shoulder can actually play out, whereby we can potentially see some weakness in terms of the downside in the short term, right? And yeah, I mean, eventually now it seems like we're breaking at 7, so as I say, not so good in terms of the short term as well. All right, so let's take a look at what it says on my system. So I have a system called 1GT, one good trend, whereby we will seeing really good bullish signals since in 2020, 2021, of course, very strong upside, but somewhere around like October, November, there were some signs of exit, and then a few new bearish, right, not good bearish signals came back and started to see a little bit of selling. All right, so let's take a look at what it says on the system to see whether are there any like exits for now. Okay, so this is the 1GT, one good trend system that I have that kind of like alerts us to counters like this and guides us on entry and also exit. So we have a couple of good, I would say, bullish signals. As I say, 2021 this last year was a really good bullish move for IFAST, more than 200% in, I think, somewhere around here in 7th of January, right, 2021, right here. A really good move, right? I think that was when it was like about $3.20, started to push up. We got an exit, a couple of good bullish signals somewhere around here. I think somewhere in May as well. Look at this right here, like a good bullish move somewhere around like 650. Got an exit around the 850 mark. A little bit of selling, came back down, but you see another bullish signal went up. And we're somewhere around here. I think this is where we were somewhere in October, where I talked about this double top, whereby this $10 level was like a really firm resistance level, right? So we can't really get past that $10. We did like traded up, bullish signal went up, bullish signal went up, and somewhere around here, as I mentioned, when we broke the $9, there were some signs of weakness starting to come back in. So we got like a bearish, right? This was like pretty much a bearish signal here on the 28th of October, started to come back down, exit, another bearish signal, and recently, let me just zoom into right here, I think this is on the 7th of Jan, 2022, all right, just before the announcement of the UK's BFC Bank's acquisition, all right. So yeah, we got like a bearish signal, and seems right now we are still like heading lower and lower and lower, and this is like where we are right now. I think yesterday, all right, and today, as I mentioned, we are attempting to break this $7 psychological support level, pretty much back to where we were in like February to May last year. All right, so yeah, this is what it says on my 1GT system. So yeah, I mean, as I say, we are having like a bearish signal. There are no exits. So if we go below that $7 and we stay below, of course it's only like one day, all right. Hopefully we climb back up above 7 today. That will be good. But if not, maybe like close below the 7, or maybe tomorrow or the next few days, then that night might not be a good thing. This bearish signal can still continue to play out. And looking at the trend bar right here, you can see that this trend bar, so I have a trend bar that kind of like gauge the trend. It's kind of like turned from green to red, as you can see. So a little bit of downtrend now, and we did have like a bearish signal. So just be careful below the $7, whereby we can potentially see more selling. Alright, so there we have it, guys. This is IFAST right here, about 685. It came down a little bit more, alright, as I'm talking on this stock. So yeah, just be careful below that $7 mark. I think if you're looking to buy, we probably want to wait to see a little bit more stability. As I mentioned just now, the trend might be turning a little bit down. It was up very, very strongly in 2021, but right now there are some signs of a downtrend. So we normally don't want to try to catch the bottom, alright, in a downtrend, because I mean, you can just break like a support and hit lower, and you buy, you get stuck, and then it goes down some more, right? So we try not to buy in a downtrend until or unless there are some clear signs of a reversal, or maybe like some signs of buyers starting to come back up, a good support level holding. In this case, it could be the 7, but you can see the 7 didn't really hold, like 2 days, it just went down again. So it might go to like $6 or $5.50, and somewhere around there, if we see like a good stability, buyers coming back, some good bullish candlestick price action, like a hammer or something like that around there, and maybe the trend indicators in the short term, the green line starting to turn back up, then that could be a good sign of like a reversal. But if not, then we try not to catch it in a downtrend, especially when certain supports are broken, because it might actually hit lower and lower, and you don't want to be just holding it down, or maybe buying more and write it down. All right, I hope makes sense, right? So yeah, we can also use what we call a system to guide us. I mean, we like see like an exit on that bearish signal, and maybe like a new bullish signal coming out, then yeah, maybe that could be a good sign of a reversal as well. If not, then it's a little bit more weak for now, below the $7 mark. Alright, so this is IFAST right here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy this video, you learned something from it in terms of this stock, or maybe in general in terms of some of the patterns we look at, like the head and shoulder pattern, in terms of the trend as well. Please go ahead to give me a like, and of course smash the subscribe button. It will definitely help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this. Right, so Joey here, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to see you in the next video.